What's up, guys and goddesses? It's the one, the only Zaya, Samai, Saphir, Sakim, Haru, Kemet, and I am back again to sprinkle you with a few petals of wisdom. Now, if you didn't know, I help overgivers and people who struggle to speak their truth and be themselves, craft and implement the ultimate blueprint to living the life that they've always wanted to live and creating the relationships they've always wanted to experience. I am an herbalist. I am a tarot card reader, certified life coach, healer, educator, singer, songwriter, entrepreneur, scholar, and so much more. But more importantly, I am a goddess. And I'm here to teach you how to embrace your divinity by seizing your destiny with audacity and confidence. Now, in this series, I'm going to be talking about why Kemetic is king. In fact, that's the title. So in this particular series, I'm going to be giving you 15 reasons why Kemetic is king. And I'm doing this because I think it is important for Black people to realize and know that the origins of our society at large are African and in many cases Kemetic in nature, which means that there is nothing about us that needs to be changed. Our natural inclinations, the way that we show up, and the way that we express ourselves, what makes us happy, what makes us joyful, there is absolutely nothing wrong with it. In fact, it is so perfect that it is the very source and the essence of what has been used to create, build, and evolve society over time. The other reason why I think it is so important to go through so many different reasons why Kemetic is king is because there are so many different institutions that have popped up and considered themselves to be the original or the source or the expert or the authority on various concepts, from spirituality to alchemy to science to even cosmetology to the medical field, our court systems, all of it. All of it is Kemetic in nature, okay? Even the tarot cards that we read, even the singing bowls that we use, like all of that comes from this sacred tones and all kinds of stuff. So look at me, I'm going all out the way. But this is why I've decided to explain why Kemetic is king, okay? Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty of things, I need to make sure that we're going to be on the same page. So if you should find that I'm using any language or terminology in this video that you don't understand, you're not familiar with, or if you feel like the knowledge that I'm dropping is so dope that you want to be fed by this information on a daily basis, or maybe you just like my personality and you want to get to know me more, see the sassy, quirky, creative, artistic side, intellectual side, I have then all of the links to stay connected with me are in the description box below on YouTube. They are also in the link in my bios on Instagram, Facebook, even LinkedIn. And you can find me on all of your major platforms. Okay. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's talk about why Kemetic is king. Okay, and we're back. So getting into the term Kemet and where it comes from. So Kemet is the African term used to refer to Egypt, the country. It's the original term. It's one of the original terms, okay? When we talk about Egypt, Egyptology, we must acknowledge that this is a Greco-Roman term created after the colonization of Alexander the Great. So when after Alexander the Great came into Egypt, what is now called, referred to as Egypt. They changed the name to Aegyptos. So, and that's spelled Aegyptos. And that is a Greco-Roman term to refer to Kemet. So, whenever you hear people refer to Egypt, Egyptology, or Egyptian mythology, they are talking about Kemeticism, Kemet, and individuals who, the original individuals of this culture, consider themselves Kemetians. Okay, so now that we have that understood and broken down, there are some other things that you want to know about Egypt. Well, not Egypt. There are some other things that you want to know about Kemet. So understand that moving forward, when I am speaking and teaching, the term Kemet refers to what we now know as Egypt in Africa. The term Kemeticism is used to refer to the actual culture that is encompassed within the country of Kemet. And the term Kemetian is used to represent those individuals who study and practice Kemeticism. Okay, so now that we have that understood, let's talk about some other unique facts about Kemet. So if you didn't know, Kemet has a northern, middle, and southern piece to it. At one point in time, the entire country was referred to as Ethiopia. The region has had many names over the years, but the northern part of Kemet and the southern part of Kemet are considered complementary pieces. So the southern part of Kemet is now known as Ethiopia, and the northern part of Kemet is now known as Egypt. Well, when the reason why this, I'll be my tongue. Well, the reason why this information is important is because when you are studying Kemeticism and the Kemetic deities, you will notice that some of those deities have a northern or southern counterpart to them, and the energy may translate a little bit differently, but they are two parts of a whole. Okay, so now that we've gotten some geographical historical facts out of the way about so now that we've gotten some geographical historical facts established about Kemet, some other things that you want to know about Kemet that are very important. This civilization existed thousands of years prior to the establishment of Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior. And so the terms BC and BCE are used in terms of time to represent when and where Kemet established certain practices, beliefs, theories, and institutions within its culture. Okay, so BC is the term used to represent before Christ. BCE is the term used to represent before Common Era. These terms, you may be familiar with them if you've ever studied history, but when you're doing the timeline of when certain cultural practices were established, many of the modern day culture staples and institutions within any society across this world can be traced back to Kemet because of its long-standing nature. So I'm trying to think, is there so some common misconceptions that people have about Kemet is the idea that it is a polytheistic spiritual institution. And it's not a polytheistic spiritual institution. The other common misconception is that they worship animals, and that's not the full picture. That's the very truncated, static, miscontextualized representation of what is really going on within the spiritual institution of Kemeticism. So let me break it down for you. Cometians believe in one all-powerful, all-present, all-knowing, all-seeing God. We can refer to it as the universe. We can refer to it as the divine. We can refer to it as the Most High. But at the end of the day, Cometians believe that there is one divine source. And this one divine source is so infinite, so powerful, so knowing and seeing and present that it has the ability to articulate itself in an infinite range of iterations. That is where we get the large pantheon of Kemetic deities that everyone is familiar with. The other aspect to this is the concept that Cometians worship animals, and that is not entirely true. Cometians believe in the circle of life. So therefore, an animal, a plant, anything that is an iteration of the Most High should be appreciated, valued, and worshipped as such, including thyself. Therefore, because all things and all people are created in God's image, they should all be worshipped in its likeness and appreciated in its likeness. And so that's what that means. So now that we have a hefty, sturdy understanding and foundation to go into this series, let's get into the 15th reason why Kemetic is king. So number 15, plain and simple, is the fact that Kemet honors the earth. Okay, so what does it mean to honor the earth? When we think about the earth is a physical manifestation of the Most High, in which human beings and animals, mammals, and all other kinds of living organisms are able to be conceived, then procreate, and then thrive and evolve over time. That is the beauty of Mother Earth. And the Cometians value the importance of the earth so much that they deified it in the deity Geb, which I will break down in later videos. So I want to bring out some receipts and break it down to you. So when you think about the importance of earth, it feeds us, it hydrates us, it heals us, and it provides pretty much everything we need in order to be able to exist and thrive. All of Earth's materials, nutrients, and minerals can be and are used on the daily basis to enhance the lives of human beings. So when you think about precious metals are the basis and foundation of the industrial age. The factories, the concept of the chain. No, I can't think of the name right now, but that whole concept came from the earth. When we talk about our crystals and diamonds and things of that nature that are, you know, valued at such a high rate now, and are hoarded by the rich, that comes from the earth. And human beings use those precious gems and stones to enhance their life by capitalizing on their value and placing a dollar amount on that value, on the value of those items. When we talk about the importance of the earth is harvested regularly for its herbs, plants, fruits, vegetables, and all of those different organisms and entities are used to then create medicine, create food, and just create overall nourishment of the body and an entire. All right, guys and goddesses, this has been another insightful episode of Petals of Wisdom. Now, if you feel like I was really dropping some gems and you want some more in-depth knowledge of how to apply these concepts in your daily life to enhance it and create and manifest the life you really want to experience, then head on over to the description box and click the link labeled extended video. Okay, last but not least, there's going to be some information about my Kemetic healing circles. And last but certainly not least, there's some information in the description box about my Kemetic healing circles. And if you are interested in bringing this experience to a city, girls' night out, or family gathering near you, click the link in my bio. Let's do a discovery call and let's get you and the people you love booked so that you can heal and manifest together. All right, once again, I am the one, the only Zaya the Lotus, and I love you to life, and I look forward to taking this journey with you. Peace. Peace. What's up, guys and goddesses? This is all right, so let's get into the 15th reason why Kemetic is king. And plain and simple, it's because Kemeticism honors the self. It considers the Most High and the human being one and the same and connected. Okay, when you look into the concept of Paiuti, there are 9 primordial individuals which are called Natiru. Natiru are Kemetic deities. Okay, and one half of the pantheon are the deities of the heavens, and the other half of the pantheon are the deities of humanity. And each one of them represents a particular aspect of the human experience in its dynamic, multi-dimensional way. And each one also all right, so let's get into the 15th reason why Kemetic is king. Plain and simple, is because Kemeticism honors the self. Okay, Cometians believe that God dwells within us as human beings. Therefore, we are gods. And so that's where that quote in the Bible comes from. If we were created in his image. I'm sorry, I'm quoting I I have that quote etched in my mind by E. Beasy. If we were made in his image, then call us by our names. Most intellects do not believe in God, but they fear us just the same. Okay, that's where I want to go with this. All right, guys and goddesses, let's get into the 15th reason why Kemetic is king. And plain and simple is because Kemeticism honors the self. E. Beasy said it best when she said, if we were made in his image, then call us by our names. Most intellects do not believe in God, but they fear us just the same. On and on and on and on. The cipher keeps moving like a rolling stone. All right. This is not a singing session, but she was dropping some knowledge that I had to share with you to captivate you and get you to see where I'm coming from. Because Cometians believe that God dwells within us, therefore we are gods, okay? And you can study this and find proof of it when you look into the concept of piety, okay? So everything in Kemeticism has a symbolic, allegorical, metaphoric description to explain the phenomena of life and the phenomena of the afterlife and the phenomena of the supernatural, okay? And in this concept of piety, there is a boat. And on this boat, there are 9 primordials. And half of the pantheon of deities, primordials. Primordials are Kemetic deities, okay? They are the original, okay? They're like the original deities. So half of this pantheon of primordials are the deities of the heavens, and the other half are the deities of humanity, okay? And basically what this is essentially teaching us is that everyone and everything derives from the one source and can be interpreted in different ways. But humans and humanity itself has a very unique dynamic experience that can only be interpreted by creating various deities and microcosms of the macrocosm, okay? So that's why, that is how Kemeticism honors the self. Cometians also have a very detailed and involved system of rituals that honor and care for the self, and this is deeply ingrained into the spiritual practice and the day-to-day rituals and the acknowledgement that everyone and everything is sacred. So this is number 15. Reason why. So this is number 15. So this is the 15th reason why Kemetic is king. All right, so let's get into the 14th reason why Kemetic is king. And this is because Cometians honor the ancestors. When you look at the history of ancestral veneration, with Kemet and Kemeticism being one of the oldest cultures with religion and educational institutions and spiritual institutions and sacred texts and all these different things incorporated in it, Cometians were the first to really delve into the science of the unknown, the science of the dead, the science of afterlife. And they recognize that because that energy can neither be created nor destroyed, only transferred, they understood and overstood that once the body deteriorates, that does not mean that the spirit no longer exists. The spirit must then transfer to another realm. And so in order to honor, respect, and protect this spirit as it transfers on to the other realm, they ritualize the death process. And that's where the original concept for funerals and embalming comes from. Okay, so Imhotep was the first individual to practice surgery through the embalming of the deceased body, the dead body, or however you want to call it. I'm getting into all these So Imhotep was one of the first. Imhotep is recorded in